So the sanding usually isn't too hard because the button that you have the issue with is already peeling, and so it usually comes off quite easy. If it does require a little effort, then just be careful that you don't sand the buttons next to it or somewhere around it to scratch it. The sandpaper we use is 150 grit. As you can see, it's pretty rough. You have to be careful to not hit the adjacent buttons. After you sand it, then you just have to clean it off with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol, something like that, household cleaner like that. It's a solvent. Nothing that's liquid though. You don't want to use any kind of other household cleaners. Another thing we provide with the kit when you buy it is a micro brush. This is a micro brush kind of like they use at dentist offices. And what we do with this is actually two different things. The first thing in regards to cleaning, you can put a little bit of alcohol on here, and you want to clean around the button itself, around the edge of that button, and maybe in between areas where you wouldn't be able to clean well with a rag. Okay, so that's what we want. With the graphics replacement kit, we ship you two different color semi-transparent backgrounds. These are going to be used for the background of the button. You're going to have a foreground, which is the color of the stereo, and of course, as you see in these letters, it looks like it's white, and especially in this video you're not going to be able to see the difference, but actually they're versions of gray. And with your kit you will get a very light gray background, and you'll get a little darker gray background. Take the material before you pull it off to do any kind of repair and put it next to the background color. Like if I look at this Seek type button here, I can look and see if this is going to work or if this one's going to work. In this case you have a backing paper on here, and you have the vinyl, and so you don't cut all the way through. You just make an incision there like that, just through the actual vinyl itself, and you pull back so you can expose the graphic. Now you take a piece of your transfer tape, you set it on there like that, and you pull your graphic off the background there, and now you flip it upside down like this. In this case we're just going to show you how to grab these little guys out of here. You probably can't see this in the video too well, but I'm gonna show you how to take this out. I use this hobby knife here. Pull it off of the background like this. It's stuck to my knife, and I pull it to the edge of something, a table. If I'm in the car doing this job, I have a small table that we use and my techs use for this. You see I'm centering this onto the background. Once I'm happy with the spot that I found, I put it on like that. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. As long as you're basically close, you'll do okay. You set it down like this. You stick it back onto this is wax paper. You pull off your transfer tape. I recommend getting a new piece of transfer tape each time, because you're actually going to use transfer tape again once you've weeded the letters out of this. You probably can't see them in this video, but in the next little section you're going to be able to see how we weed those letters out with this knife and a pair of tweezers. But you are going to use a piece of transfer tape again to pull this back up and place it on the stereo face. So this little process, we just use really two tools just a hobby knife. You can probably in this section only see the tip of my knife here, and also a regular pair of tweezers. So it's pretty simple. You do want to do this in a cool area, less than 80 degrees when you do this weeding process. When you first stick these two pieces of vinyl together, they do have a tendency to come apart easier than they will later on. After 24 hours you get a permanent bond. So you can see it's just a matter of grabbing the letter up, whichever part of the letter you can get with your knife, and then grabbing it with the tweezers and pulling. And once you've done a couple of these, it's pretty easy to do. You can see how it's coming out. This is the info button. Grab the corner there with my knife. Turn the tweezers around here. There we go. Pull that off like that. And the O. Okay, so there we have a completed button. And again, we will end up picking up this completed graphic now with transfer tape, just like you saw us do in the beginning when we pulled the original black part off the backing. So to put the graphic on the button that we've sanded, you have this clear transfer tape, and you have your graphic on the transfer tape here, as you can see. And really what I do with this to make it simple is I set it as close as I can to the surface. You can actually get it stuck a little bit. As long as you don't put pressure on it at first, it's not going to permanently adhere on there. And you can just move it side to side. Look where you are on the button, up and down, and then do your best to center it. You do have a little bit of room for error there. And once you have it positioned correctly, you press it down firmly, and you can pull your transfer tape off of there. Now if you're using a hair dryer on this, you can go ahead and get real close to the surface of the radio. You just have to make sure if you're using a heat gun not to turn it on high by any means. You could actually literally melt the plastic on the front of the radio. So let's do this little process here. You'll even see as I heat it that the vinyl will start to soften up and just sag just a slight bit. And I have my hobby brush I'm using here. You can use a toothbrush, you can use anything with bristles to kind of flex it around, make it conform to the button there. Okay. And that's it.